Hey friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm here to bring you an update on a wig that I've had for over a year that I absolutely love, show you how she looks compared to a brand new one, and I will have some comparison pictures at the end. And I want to talk with you a little bit about two topics. One is heat-friendly wigs, and you know, the word on the street is that they're really hard to care for, and I do think that can be true. I kind of want to give you a caveat to that though from what I've learned over the years. And I want to talk with you about how to get the best information on some of these major name brand wigs, because to be honest, the pictures and the color swatches at the websites on the product listing pages aren't always very helpful. But I have a tip for you on how you can get more information. So if you want to know more, stick around. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook. I have a lot of wig content, some hair loss content, some other things as well, but I mainly focus on wigs. And so if that's why you're here, I hope that you'll find some information in this video helpful on your wig journey. All right, everybody. The wig I'm wearing is TressAllure Trend, and this is in the color 33/130/R4. It's a beautiful red. Now, I reviewed this in October of 2022. It's mid-December 2023, so I've had this wig for well over a year. And I wear it a lot. Now, I don't typically wear this one much in the summer. I don't usually wear these dark of colors in the summer. But from when I got it in October of 2022, all through that winter into the spring, so probably into March, I wore her about 3 days a week. I just love this wig so much. I wore her constantly. Now we're back into fall and winter, so I've been wearing her again probably since the end of October or of August this year. So I've got to tell you, this wig is phenomenal. And wearing beautifully, just beautifully. Feels nearly as good as the day I got her. Now, I play with this one a lot. I put styling product in it. I style it with clips. I just do a ton with this piece, and I've washed it a number of times as well, and I just cannot get enough of this one. It's so great. Now, if you want to know more about this, like the cap construction and everything, I'll link my review below. That's not the focus of this video. And also, if you want to know more about either one of these colors and get an inside and outside look at them, then I will link not only my review of that one, but a review of a piece I did, not this one, because this is brand new, but I did review another TressAllure piece in this color, and I'll link that below as well. So this one, breathe and swallow, right? This one is in the color 17/23/R8. It's a gorgeous, very dynamic, highlighted, kind of a light brown with some red tones in it. Like I said, this is brand new. I just got it 2 days ago, and I've already worn her. This is my second day wearing her because, again, I love this style so much. So one thing you can maybe notice is that the curl pattern kind of goes up a little bit higher on this one. That is something that can vary from piece to piece. It may be a product of the fact that I've worn that other one so very much that the curl has relaxed a little bit because I play with it so much. I put styling cream in it so much. And quite honestly, it's probably been 15 wears since I last washed this one right here. Where'd she go? Right here. And so she could use a wash, and then maybe those curls will spring back up on the top. So one of the things I always try to do with my synthetics is just wash them as little as possible. I try to go 15, maybe 20 wears. If I were wearing these full days like I used to, because I work from home now, then I would probably try to wash anywhere from 8 to 12 wears. But since I wear them just a handful of hours at a time, I try to go as long as I can. So before we get on to the other topics I wanted to talk about in this video, let me just kind of summarize. This piece is outstanding. She is made with heat-friendly fibers. I will talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but because of the length, do not let the fact that this has heat-friendly fibers deter you from trying her if you love everything else that you see. Because This is where you start to see the problem with heat-friendly fibers. The ends, they get frizzy, they get frayed, they get tangled, they get clumpy, because friction on your clothing is very, very hard on heat-friendly fibers. But since this is short and doesn't rub up on my clothing, I don't have any friction issues at all. I've had to take no heat to this, none at all. It still feels wonderful. It's not tangly. The ends aren't frizzy or frayed. It's just wonderful. So this wig, while pricey, I do think it's really expensive. I don't know why. I think TressAllure wigs are on the pricier end of the spectrum when you look at all of the major name brands. I cannot pretend to know why. I don't know what their costs are. I don't know any of these things. I just know that if you're looking to spend $400 and some on a wig, which is what this retails for, then you want to know that you're going to get your money's worth. I believe you will, based on my experience with it. And that's why I wanted to bring you this video, because I have a feeling some of you have looked at this. Maybe you've seen all of my videos. I've got multiple videos where I'm wearing this wig or talking about this wig, and you've wanted to try it, but you're just nervous because that's a lot of money to spend if you're not sure that the wig is going to last. With a length like this, as long as you're careful with it, you don't, throw it on the floor after you're done wearing it, you don't pull on the lace constantly because this does have a lace front, then I think it's going to last quite a long time. I do think it's going to last longer than a longer piece that has friction. So I think this is a wonderful piece. It's one of my favorites. It's probably currently my favorite heat-friendly synthetic, and I think it's going to last a long time. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm loving it. And I will put some side-by-side pictures on the end so you can see like this one compared to that one, and just see if you see any major differences between one that's been worn so much over the past year and 2 months and one that's brand new out of the box. So let's talk about heat-friendly fibers just briefly, since I already sort of touched on it. Heat-friendly fibers can be really challenging to care for. There's no question about that. On long pieces, all of the friction on the ends are going to start to fray those ends. And it could happen even after one wear. If you wear that piece for a long time, let's say you have a job and you work outside the home and maybe you're gone for a total of, from the time you put your wig on to the time you get home and take it off, it could be 10 or 12 hours. Those ends are going to feel really tangled and really frizzy and frayed, especially at the nape. I recommend, if you're new, especially to wig wearing, if you're going to go with a long heat-friendly piece, I recommend you go with a straight style, because you can take heat to that easily and not have to worry about altering the curl pattern or wave pattern. A hot air brush is my favorite way to do it, and I have a video showing how I care for my heat-friendly wigs when they need it with a hot air brush. You can use a steamer, you can use a straight iron, flat iron, you can use any heat tool you want, but anytime you take heat to a heat-friendly synthetic, you do risk altering the style if it's wavy or curly. That's why I'm so grateful that this one doesn't need that, because I love this curl pattern and I don't have to worry about altering it because I don't really need to take heat to it at all. Secondly, I think heat-friendly fibers can be more realistic than regular synthetic, depending on the wig, the brand, the color, all of those things. I think they feel really realistic overall, and I love TressAllure heat-friendly fibers. I really do. So if you wear shorter styles and you've ever struggled with shine on a regular synthetic, heat-friendly does not have that same shine issue. I strongly encourage you, the next time you're looking at making a purchase, look at a heat-friendly style. There's so many great ones out there, and I do love them over regular synthetic. If I had to choose between the two, I would choose heat-friendly, especially on a shorter piece like this where you're not dealing with any friction issues. And finally, let's talk about the product pages for these wigs. Let's just talk about trend here. I'm going to put up a couple pictures here so that you can see. First of all, I don't think the product pictures are flattering for this style. Just look at the difference. They've got them very flattened out. These styles aren't super full and poofy, but there is some volume, and it's beautiful with this wave and curl pattern, but they have not showcased that on the product pages. Now, if you're looking for something super flat, that may be okay for you, but I don't think that this wig is really meant to wear that way, so I do think it will take some effort for you to get it that flat. Secondly, let's look at a couple of color swatches, especially the 33/130/R4, the red I had on in the beginning. You can see, I think what they've done is they've tried to show the different colors that are in the wig, but they've separated them in a way that makes it look like it's gonna have an unnatural highlight to it. There's nothing unnatural about the way this is. I mean, it has a little bit of a root, but it's very well blended. And I've noticed that on some color swatches, and it's why when I talk to my wig sisters, I usually say color swatches are only marginally helpful because you don't know how they've applied those colors. So they may be showing you the various colors that are in the wig, but if they've blended it really well, now the color is a little bit different. It's a blend of those colors. Or on some highlighted wigs, you might get a really dark base and then a liberal application of highlights, sort of like in this one, that then makes it look like a much lighter color than you expected it to be. So what do you do about that? Because this isn't just a TressAllure issue at all. I've seen it across all the major brands. My recommendation for you, number one, whenever you're looking at a wig, let's say you go to the name brand wigs website, because you can purchase this wig there. I have a 30% off coupon code for you, which will help a lot with this one. And I'll make sure all of that is linked in the description. The code is just Denise30, and you can use that on almost every piece at name brand wigs. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So before you go to hit that, put it in your cart and hit that, purchase button, go to YouTube, right where you are right now, and search for the brand and the style name. So for this one, you would go to YouTube and in the search bar, search TressAllure Trend. Any reviews that have been done on this piece should show up in that search. You may have to scroll a little bit. I don't quite understand how YouTube, how they serve up the results, because I've searched for things that I've done before with my name and the wig name and couldn't find it in the search. So it's not a foolproof way to do it, but it's at least something. And then watch a bunch of reviews. See if you can see any differences in how the wig looks on the different reviewers. I always go outside when I do the color segment of my videos so that you can see the color inside and outside. Not everybody does that, but it's worth checking out because you don't want to be surprised by a purchase. And if the wig looks dramatically different on different people, that can give you a pause. Just pause for a moment and think about which of the reviewers that you watched have similar measurements to you, similar head measurements, similar height, maybe a similar face shape. In the beginning of my wig wearing journey, I made more mistakes than I can count. I spent well over $10,000 in the first 18 months of my wig wearing journey, and I didn't buy any human hair wigs at that time. A lot of my wigs I bought were clearance or secondary market. I couldn't figure out why I would buy a wig that looked gorgeous on a reviewer, particularly Taz, who I watched a lot, and it didn't look the same on me. Well, we're completely different builds. I'm 5'9". I think she's like 5'3" or 4". She's petite. I'm not petite. I mean, with just so many differences. She's small, much smaller head than I do, smaller here. I mean, there's just a lot that would impact how a wig is going to look on her versus on me. So while I love that you watch my videos, if I am not built similarly to you, I try to give you as much objective information as I can about a piece, but seeing it on me might not tell you how it's going to look on you. So do keep that in mind. But because the product page listings aren't always very helpful, either the wig is super styled, like they've taken heat to it and styled it, and that's not how it will come to you out of the box, which I kind of have a problem with. I wish the manufacturers wouldn't do that. Or the color swatches just aren't a representation of how that was actually applied to the piece. The only real thing you can do is go try to find reviews to help you understand how it really looks in real life. You can always reach out to the customer support team at these retailers. Name Brand Wigs is support@namebrandwigs.com. Ask your questions. See what other information they can send you, but these are not small purchases for most of us. My goal is to help you as much as I can. Make videos like this, give you as good of information as I can in the reviews. I am not here to tell you to spend your money or sell you a product. I really just want to help you make good informed decisions. That's why I made this video, because I do love this wig and I think some people might be missing out on it because the product page isn't the most helpful. But in general, I thought this information could help you, especially if you're a new wig wearer. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'll put some side-by-sides on the end here, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.